So, folks, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here in Minnesota. I live here in Minneapolis. It's a place that Donald Trump seems to be talking a lot about. Let's check in with how things are going here. And what's that? Oh my God! Mike Pillow just filed to run for governor of the state. Minnesotans have an opportunity to not do the funniest thing of all time, elect this impoverished, stupid man who, worked his way up from rock bottom and then wound up all the way back down at the bottom again through entirely his own doing. He's both a self-made and a self-unmade man. And, not many people get to be that. And I think, he shouldn't be in politics because he needs to get to work on himself once again. And, that's not the only thing happening here in Minneapolis, of course, because Donald Trump has been relentlessly attacking the Somali community here in Minnesota. And many Somali folks live in Minneapolis, and it's a real...
Is there a /Dono goal to get you to DC so you can be that journalist? Please.
God, I would never be allowed in the same room. Sorry, you're blue. They would never allow me. Thank you for the $5 dono and for the impulse to support that. I think that's a good thing. Foster that. Thank you for the $5 super chat. But I figured one way we could break all this down was to see how these attacks against the Somali community are being synthesized by some of the most in-touch people. And by some of the most in-touch people, I mean really only just one person, who is, of course, the key demographic of every statement made by every single Republican ever, and that is Asmongold, the dumbest man alive on YouTube. And I thought we would just check in. How's he taking all of this? Let's find out.
When a Somalian person becomes an enemy, they become a serious one. Oh, here we go.
You even created a meeting place for all of them. The Somali of America?
No! Boo! 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 Your pun is a punishment. The punishment is real. But I will still I'll still give you the... There you go. Thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs.
When a Somalian person becomes an enemy, they become a serious one. Oh, here we go. The people, what does it say? The people like that living right here in our city. We all see them. Some of us try to dismiss it, saying, oh, that person talks too much. It doesn't mean anything. Or leave them alone. That's my relative. You probably met them in a coffee shop. You know exactly the kind of people I'm talking about? You've talked to them in Starbucks? Yep. Maybe you've seen them at the mosque once in a while. Maybe you've gone to parties together. You know who I mean? You've seen them? Mm-hmm. We need to get rid of these people. So you got this, right? They even say that to each other. They can't even, there's inner PvP among them. They're trying to say this is a Congo.
Yeah, it's almost like you're talking about a group of people that have differences of opinion. It's almost like you're talking about any group of people. That's interesting. Is that guy in Minneapolis? No, he's not. In fact, now I was curious because I don't remember seeing this appearance by Ilhan Omar, and of course the man standing next to her is Omar Fateh, who recently ran to be mayor of Minneapolis and lost to Jacob Fry, right? And I'm still upset about that. I don't like Jacob Fry. That being said, I had to, of course, go and find the clip that he's watching because, well, wouldn't you know it, the clip that he's watching doesn't really show who posted it, does it? And so, of course, I wanted to do my due diligence, and I found it. And it's from an account labeled Checkmate Biliscan Checkmated DSL. Ilhan Omar went into a full rage, lashing out after other Somalian clans refused
Remember
to
when Bannon got caught farming $6 million in gold on WoW in the 2014 and Asmongold was the one that led the campaign to have him banned?
I don't remember that. I actually did not know that particular part of the lore, Soul Black Guy. I really appreciate your dono and your information. Okay. Lashing out after some other Somalian clans refused to back her clansmen, Fateh Fateh. Oh, sorry. There's not a comma here, so I'm confused at how to read this. Lashing out after other Somalian clans refused to back her clansman, Fateh, and instead voted for Jacob Fry, calling for rival clans to be expelled and pushed out, especially since they were translating her Somalian-speaking videos to the American audience. Minnesota politics are turning into a Somalian primitive clan war. You know, because the people posting these clips are racist. The Somali community is a primitive clan war in Minnesota. Just blatant, disgusting racism, right? Also, just, again, this account just goes on rants about Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar on Police Officers Memorial Day 2023 chose to speak out about clan mentality and the Somalian diaspora rather than honor law enforcement officers. And it's like, man, y'all just don't have anything better to complain about these days, I guess. Why did the Obama administration, with Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, recognize Somalia as a state, even though it's a failed, non-functional entity? Billions of American taxpayer dollars were wasted on warlords masquerading as a government. How does this serve U.S. foreign policy interests? Well, the goal of the foreign policy dollars was to stabilize the country so that, you know, it wouldn't devolve into endless civil war and fighting. The purpose was to try and stabilize the country. But also, let's take a look at this clip just in its entirety, because Asmongold keeps pausing and not explaining what is happening, really. Let's jump in. When a Somalian person becomes an enemy, they become a serious one. There are people like that living right here in our city. We all see them. Some of us try to dismiss it, saying, oh, that person just talks too much. It doesn't mean anything. Or leave them alone. That's my relative. You probably met them in coffee shops. You know exactly the kind of people I'm talking about. You've sat with them at Starbucks. Maybe you've seen them at the mosque once in a while. Maybe you've gone to parties together. You know who I mean. You've seen them. We need to get rid of these people. We will never gain power and move forward as Somalians as long as these people live among us. And this is usually where a lot of people just stop playing the clip, but there's actually quite a bit more to this clip. We don't kick them out. The same people, Somalians, we try to defend, they're the ones that want to see us in jail. Who spread lies about us, who make videos claiming we said things we never said. And when that happens, there's no way to defend ourselves. I can't keep saying all day, I didn't say that, because I've got work to do. We're busy doing our job, defending you, Somalians, protecting this country, creating laws. I can't waste every day fighting against accusations of what they accuse me I said on videos. That's your responsibility and your job to not welcome those people. Who work to block and undermine Somalians in this country from gaining power or having influence. So what she's talking about here is that there is a block in, like, Minnesota of conservative Somali individuals in the Somali community who are conservative, right? They vote more conservative. They have slightly more conservative values. And a large number of them coalesced around Jacob Fry's campaign, as opposed to Omar Fateh's campaign. And there is kind of this movement to smear Ilhan Omar. And this has existed for a while, both locally and nationally, around her comments about like 9/11 and different things to make it seem like she's like pro 9/11, or to spread the lie that she married her brother, and just a lot of awful smears about her and around her. And it's really unfortunate. But what she's talking about here isn't like, oh yeah, you've got to fight your rival's Somali clan. It's you have to like be willing to step up and call out bad actors who are spreading lies in your community, you know, because she's busy as an elected official. Like, she can't fight that battle. It then becomes incumbent upon the community to stand up and set the record straight when bad actors come in to try and run a smear campaign. Like, it's not that complicated, but Asmongold isn't going to take it that way. So let's just check in.
Congresswoman saying this herself, but the second that Trump says it, now he's a Nazi. Get the fuck out of here. Does that mean you're a Nazi when you
see? So what he does is equate like, oh, we need to get rid of these people. It's exactly what Donald Trump said. Except that it's not exactly what Donald Trump said, because she's not talking about like kicking Somalian people out of the country. She's not talking about we need to like, you know, destroy and kill our opponents. We need to get them back to the country they came from. She's saying, hey, you need to step up and like actually set the record straight when people come in spreading lies, because that is an observable thing that was happening at the time she gave this speech, especially around the Minneapolis mayoral campaign.
Say this? Oh, well, that's different.
What is it about the conservative platform that appeals to Somali people? All I can say is when you're saying it that way, it makes it seem like all Somali think the same and are then appealed to by a conservative platform, which just isn't the case. There are some who are progressive, there are some who are moderate, there are some that are conservative, and like just like any group of people. And so some of the conservative ones, they might be religiously fundamentalist. They might be like have an older school religious mentality that they think is served by a more conservative government. Like it's the same thing that a lot of other people get driven by in the United States. And Somali folks aren't like this special case.
No, it's not. Like, we've imported African blood feuds into American politics. It's fucking...
See, like, this is what I mean. Like, he's like, yeah, no, this is a blood feud that carried over from Somalia. It's not. It is a genuine, like, political divide between, well, like, within, like, one specific demographic in the area. Like, dude is just spouting white nationalist propaganda, and he's, I think, potentially too dumb to even recognize that that is what he's doing.
Ridiculous. We'll never gain power and move forward to Somalia as long as these people live among us. Wow. Never listen to them try to talk about, oh, we're such victims. If it was up to you, you'd be victimizing each other.
This man is just straight up like Ku Klux Klan, like recruitment material. It's crazy. It's crazy what conservatism does to online pundits these days. And I'm being extraordinarily generous calling him a pundit. I probably shouldn't even be using that word and associated with him.
You're out there doing speeches in a foreign language.
You're out there doing speeches in a foreign language. How could you? How could you give a speech in a foreign language to a group of people that speak that language? In America, this is a land of freedom where you have to speak American. This is the land of the free where you can do whatever the hell you want unless you want to speak a different language, because then you're not free. You have to speak American. These people are just incoherent to the greatest possible degree. To the greatest possible degree. It's obscene.
Doing that here. We don't kick him out. Yeah, exactly. See? Other Somalians. Yeah, these are other Somalians. Spread lies.
Yep. For context, this specific video is taken from YouTube channel, specifically the YouTube channel Somali TV of Minnesota, because there is a channel dedicated to that online that covers like different figures in the Somali community that are active locally, and like that's fine. That's good actually. But he's like, oh yeah, she's talking to other Somalians. And it's like, yeah, because there's a sizable community of Somalians in the area who are politically active because they give a shit about the city they live in and want to make it better. The same reason anyone in any city becomes politically active. They think they have good ideas that they want to try and pass. That's it.
About us make videos. Yeah, this is what's happened. There's no way to defend ourselves. I can't keep saying.
Yeah, because she's talking about people who are coming in and spreading lies, man. Kind of like how you opened up this video talking about how she's trying to fight like some kind of race war from Somalia now that she's in America. That's crazy racist.
I didn't want that because I got work to do, for sure. America's far too tolerant. I think we are too. Massively too tolerant.
What does that mean? Like, in this context, when you're saying we're too tolerant, what do you think should happen here? What is someone not allowed to stand up and give a speech about how, like, hey, people in this community keep spreading lies, and maybe we shouldn't be as tolerant of liars in this community? And unironically, Asmongold watches that and says, you know what? We're too tolerant of people who are intolerant of liars. It boggles my mind because, again, my thesis statement for the night is just conservatives are illiterate when it comes to media. And that carries over to being illiterate when it comes to political clips, because they do not care to find the context. They do not care to even watch the video through in order to understand what is being said and how one sentence relates to another. Instead, it's just constantly taking clips out of context. That's all he knows how to do.
You have a tolerance paradox where you can't allow people who are tremendously intolerant into a tolerant society, or the society stops being tolerant. And you see, this is them. This is this society. This is their community. They're trying to kick each other out.
This is their society. This is an event for the Minneapolis mayoral race. What do you mean it's their society? What are you talking about? It's there. She literally is standing in front of an Omar Fateh sign, who is running to be mayor of the city that she's at a campaign event for.
Is this what made us great? I don't think it is. It's crazy weird. Yeah, it is. Super.
I'm sorry. What is crazy weird about watching a political event where people are like, yeah, be on guard against people spreading lies and propaganda, and when people do that, call them out and like don't allow them to keep on doing that. You know, if they continue, like don't let them into your spaces because they are bad faith actors. That is not a complicated sentiment. I think that genuinely he sees like a black and brown person saying that in a foreign language to him, and he thinks, oh, that's evil and bad. I need to read subtitles. It's evil and bad. More people should be forced to read subtitles during films. Might genuinely prevent the rise of people like Asmongold.
Sure. What is this? What is it? Give me a second. That's your responsibility, your job, to not welcome these people. who block and undermine Somalians in a country. And this is also another really big component, is that these people are not arguing from a position of policy. They're not arguing from a position of ideals. They're arguing on race-based identity politics. Vote for me because I'm the same ethnicity as you are.
They're arguing because policy impacts different ethnic groups differently. Different, like, demographic groups get affected by policies differently. And so when there is a coherent voting bloc in a given area that can advocate for their interests, it makes it more likely, for example, for them to not be discriminated against, let's say, by, powerful political figures that may be or maybe not influenced by the president of the United States saying how it was all a mistake to let them into the country and that they are poisoning the blood of the nation. Which I want to remind you guys, Donald Trump literally said immigrants were poisoning the blood of the country 2 years ago. He said that. And not that long ago, can I find it? Can I bring it up real quick? Truth Social, Donald Trump. He's been on a real tear lately. He tweeted out just like a standalone comment. And of course, it's just been nonstop racist posting for the last several days. 18 hours ago. I'm dealing with the poisoning of America. Yeah, no, we're literally this is, again, we're back to Nazi rhetoric. It constantly goes back to this Nazi rhetoric. And, people like Asmongold fall for it hook, line, and sinker because ultimately they don't have that many problems with a Nazi platform.
This is
because he doesn't think it's going to affect him.
Antithetical to the American way. It's antithetical to the Constitution. It is antithetical to all philosophy and Western reason, period. And
yeah. And you know what? Asmongold has read all philosophy and understands all Western reason. He's very well educated to say that.
They're coming in here, and her big sell is vote for me because I'm the same race as you. Oh, no.
Now, can I just say,
big sell is vote for me.
Her big sell is vote for me. This man didn't even care enough to understand this was a campaign event for Omar Fateh. This wasn't her campaign event. This wasn't even her saying, vote for me. That wasn't what that event was for. And she wasn't asking people to vote for her at that event. Bro literally cares so little about this, but is so willing to use these people, this minority, for political gain and personal gain, that he doesn't even care to look into it.
Because I'm the same race as you. Oh, no. Oh, God. No. Not again.
Ilhan Omar threatens anyone working with the Trump administration that they will pay a costly price. This is a direct threat against all Trump's staffers and the entire administration. Unlike Donald Trump, who said we need to get rid of all Somali. By the way, fun fact for you guys. Something like 98% of all Somali folks in the United States are already legal residents or citizens of the United States.
All right. Let's see it. Here we go.
As much as Trump and his cronies want to act like we have no power to respond,
there's a reason he's Asmongold and not Asmon Challenger.
Oh, damn. Sake Tanuki. Very true. Very true.
The truth is we are more powerful than we think we are.
Right.
And I want to underscore the importance of using every single leverage that we have at our arsenal.
That's why you got to do the same thing against them, is because if you don't, they're going to do it against you.
That's not at all what she's talking about. Here's this is the crazy thing, right? Asmongold gets it in his head that because Donald Trump says things like, we need to deport all of our enemies, we need to kill all of our enemies, that folks like Ilhan Omar and folks on the left want to murder all conservatives. Like that's genuinely how Asmongold sees the world. And when he hears like we are actually more powerful than like any of us think we are, he's like, "Oh, look at that. They want to kill Donald Trump." Like it's crazy, right? Because when people are talking when Ilhan Omar is putting an Instagram live out there to talk about what is happening right now because the president is directing an attack specifically against people of her ethnicity in her state that she represents and was elected to represent and defend, Asmongold just sees that and says, "Oh, Somali threatening the Trump administration on behalf of all Somalians." It's because he views it already as a race war. The lens Asmongold has to apply here is just race war. That's it. And it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Because it also prevents him from having any kind of actual political analysis, any actual, like, insight, and it's just constant regurgitating stupid, easily debunked talking points. That he's successful at doing this because the people who watch him never bother to fact check him. Ever. Or hold him accountable to anything he says. Asmongold has no loyalty, has already flopped more than once. He just thinks this stance will pay off the most for him. It could genuinely be a calculation on his part because he thinks this will make him money. But, like, I think it's partly that. But I also just think he's dumb. He's dumb.
That's why you never...
God, if Tim Pool hadn't convinced me that, like, I could... Like, For those who don't know my origin story as, like, a content creator... years ago, after I got laid off during the pandemic, I finally sat down and I watched a Tim Pool video after hearing about him for years, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's really dumb and boring and wrong. I can make slightly more interesting content that is actually correct and pushes better values." And so I started doing that, right? And if Tim Pool hadn't convinced me of that, Asmongold is somehow exponentially worse than Tim Pool in this regard.
Ever take half
in a sense, me doing what I do now was inevitable.
measures with people like this because they will do the same thing to you if you give them a chance, so you never give them a chance. You got to see things for what they are.
Because we do have...
So you never give them a chance. Hey, bro. What does that mean? When you say never give them a chance... This man is it's just race war. That's it.
A lot of
all
leverage.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that those who are collaborating with the authoritarian regime pay a costly price. As much as Trump and his...
Thank God we have a bunch of foreigners coming into our country trying to tell us what our politics should be. This is amazing. I'm so happy. Absolutely incredible.
A bunch of foreigners. She's been a legal resident and citizen of the United States for like 30 years. Wait, how old is Asmongold? Just out of curiosity. He is 35 years old. She has been a legal resident for almost as long as Asmongold has been alive. Like, bro, she's been here... she's been alive longer than you, but she has been here legally for almost as long as you've been alive. Shut the fuck up.
At least she's speaking American. True.
She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
He literally forgot what he was going to say mid-sentence, and Asmongold is going to laugh at it and think it's a real burn.
That's my boy. There it is. Oh my God. Wow. See, I've been waiting on it. Why we had to wait for this for so many years? We should have been doing this right off the bat.
We should, yeah. Look, bro, just put on your KKK outfit. It's okay. Apparently it's okay now, right? Like, dude's just so excited. Dude is just so fucking excited about hearing someone say, go back to your own country. Why is that such a big deal? Because to racists, seeing other people be racist, it makes them feel really affirmed in a way they don't typically get affirmed. And so seeing someone be explicitly racist like that in public, it's like crack to them, right? They just think it's the funniest, coolest shit. And it's just because he's racist. Like, when I say, like, he's about to get his Klan robes on, I'm not kidding. This is exactly the kind of shit the Ku Klux Klan pushed. The exact kind of thing. Yeah, it also has the effect of emboldening other racists, right? Because it's like crack to them, they want to get that high again. So they won't seek out other racist content or even decide they're going to start doing the racism explicitly in public to other people. You know? This is the closest they get to community. Yeah, that and burning crosses together, I guess.
Oh my God! Prove it. Yes, this is what we want to see. Yeah, get these fucking foreigners out.
No one should ever allow Asmongold to exist in polite society ever again. Like, the treatment of him as if he's like a serious person. Nah. He shows up at your doorstep. He shows up to your event. You kick him the fuck out. No one's got time for a Ku Klux Klanner that, like, is living in a roach-infested dung heap. I'm not even joking about that. Like, he literally lives like a shit goblin. It's crazy. He has a blood wall from his teeth.
Out of our country, come in here, try to micromanage and tell us, oh, this isn't what America's about. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You just came here 5 years ago. You're gonna patronize everybody else. Who?
She came to this country when you were 5, motherfucker.
Who the fuck are you? You're talking about trying to work in the best interests of Somalia, our country.
Working in the best interest of the Somalian community. A bunch of people who came here to escape a civil war. A bunch of people who came here and dedicated themselves to being full-time citizens and building lives and families here. And you look at that, and you look down your nose at them, living in your, like, shit-covered house. It's crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding about the blood wall. It's literally a thing. I'm not using hyperbole here. He used to smear the blood from his gums on his wall. He used a decaying corpse of a rat as an alarm clock, because when the sun would hit the rat, the stench would wake him up. This is the kind of guy who's looking down his nose at hard-working immigrants who fled war to build a life for themselves and their families, and to integrate into the United States and build successful businesses and communities here. And he looks at them and says, look at these evil, uncultured swine. We need to get rid of them. And he has the audacity to say that while living with corpses rotting in his house, with blood crusted on his walls.
Somalia. Nah, bitch, your country is America, and if it's not, get the fuck out.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better. You get the fuck out. You want to live in a garbage patch? Go live in the garbage patch in the middle of the ocean, bro. Be as nasty as you want out there. Take your racism with you. Take all your racist friends with you. Disgusting.
Bro,
he's always talking about the Constitution provides me with...
He literally loses his train of thought. He can't even finish it. Oh, she literally talks about the Constitution providing her with inalienable rights or something. Yeah, that's what the Constitution does.
In the Twin Cities, including Somalis, are here because they have family who helped us in operations overseas. It's also why we have a Hmong, Vietnamese and Arab population.
Yep.
Fuck him.
Yep. And you know what? Those people in those communities are wonderful. And the idea that, like, this man is just like cackling at the idea of trying to strip them of citizenship and destroy everything they have worked so hard to build. It boggles my mind. You can only get this way when you are inseparable from the Ku Klux Klan.
Go back to your own country and figure out your constitution. She's always talking about the...
I am so fucking sick of foreigners coming into our country, trying to patronize us, use our values against us so they can push their own reductive ideals, their, like, again, this is what happened in Minnesota. They were getting mad that everybody wasn't voting for the Somalian because they're Somali. Like, I don't want to have more...
No, you watched the same clip we did. She was talking about people spreading lies about her and about Omar
The
Fateh.
natives swear this time the immigrants are bad. We swear, and every generation they're wrong.
Race-based, identity-based politics. Why the fuck are we importing a bunch of people that want to, like, we're importing like fucking tribal blood feuds from Africa into America. What the
That's not what's happening. Like, to the extent that anything is coming over from Somalia, it's that different clans had different socioeconomic positioning. Certain groups of people in a country are going to be wealthier or poorer. That same dynamic still came over when people fled the Civil War. Wealthier people maintained, like, interest in maintaining their wealth. Poorer people maintained an interest in not being poor and having rights as workers. Like, it's not that difficult to wrap your head around. This isn't a clan war. This is just the same kind of socioeconomic divide that happens here in the United States between those who have capital and those who work for those who have capital. That's it.
fuck is going on? It's crazy. Jacob Frey speaks Somali too. Yeah, that's Lawrence of Minnesota. I know that. I don't even blame him. Like, this guy, honestly, somebody said this guy was born in the wrong century because he's meant to be born in like the 16 or the 1500s, where like he's sent to like a foreign country to like manipulate the people there into becoming a British colony, which is like, honestly, that is pretty much like he played them. He beat them at their own game. They can't.
No. Like, again, one of the things that is just so blindingly obvious, like, I live here. I live in Minnesota. I live in Minneapolis. And, like, what he's saying is basically Jacob Frey came in and, like, swan-songed the entire Somali community and, like, outdid them and, like, made himself their king or something like that. Like, that's the argument he's making. But the reality is, Jacob Frey has entrenched Democratic support here in Minnesota. It's how he was able to, like, get the DFL to rescind its endorsement of Omar Fateh. It's how, like, he was able to run such a successful, like, operation to get elected. And it's a shame that Omar Fateh didn't get elected, but it's crazy to me. This man is just talking out of his ass. He doesn't know this place. He doesn't know the politics here. And he doesn't even care to look it up to get a general idea. Jack, do we report this? Unironically, I would consider saying, yeah, maybe you should.
Came to his house, and he beat them at their own fucking game. It's
like, this level of nativist bullshit is what got folks like Stefan Molyneux banned off of YouTube. And, like, I don't know, maybe YouTube just tolerates that kind of nativist bullshit now. I don't know. Maybe they do. There's a point at which they didn't, but maybe that's different now. I don't know. This is just disgusting.
Impressive, man. Lawrence of Minnesota. So, yeah, I saw this too.
So let me get this straight. Y'all calling Trump a racist for holding these Somalians accountable, cheating the system.
Yeah.
And 88% of them are on welfare.
I don't know if it's 88%.
So that means us hardworking Americans getting all these taxes taken out of our check.
Yeah, thank God. Let's import more people that have an 88%. Oh, let's say, it's not 88%. It's only 50%. Oh, wow. That's so much better. But what are we doing? We going in here like it's almost...
Yeah, what are all these war refugees doing living in poverty? What What are all these war refugees doing being disproportionately poor? Is that stat even true? The 88% is definitely not true. What is true is that there is a higher rate of usage of social services. But it's definitely not 88%. But again, the issue is, yeah, diaspora from Civil War tend to have, like, less earning ability when trying to build a life in a different country. Yeah, that happens. So there is more uptake on social services, but also that goes away over time because people build their lives together.
Only 88%. Yeah, exactly. Like, God damn. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is the level of.
Like, the Minnesota government reports that 58% of the Somali community lives in high poverty and 40% is unemployed. But again, that happens when a bunch of people fleeing a civil war come on in. And the role of the state in that regard is to get those people back up on their feet so that they can, like, build lives and have families and, like, live and thrive and be happy and healthy. And, like, that's literally part of the process of, like, integrating folks into your society. He's intentionally underinformed. I believe it.
Of dishonesty and bullshit. Like, it's crazy that they just expect Americans to just fucking import all these people, don't do shit, and pay for all their stuff, man. Does that make you fucking mad? Makes me so fucking mad, man. It does. Makes me so fucking mad.
88% of these Somalians are using them.
Yeah.
What the hell is
quick
wrong?
Google would show this as false. No, you're right. It would show it's false. You want to know what the real number is? The ones that are on Snap, it's at 44%. Let's see if I found it. 42%. I got it wrong. It's 42, not 44.
So it's less than half of what you uncritically just showed. This fucking dick, man. He has such a hard-on for being racist that he, like, is like, yeah, no, I got it wrong, and no, it's 42% on Snap. Okay.
42% of them on food stamps. Google will tell you the truth. Yeah, there's this one here. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, it's only 40%. It's only almost half. That's the wrong chart. And that's only one government assistance program. That's food stamps. That's not the other 50 other assistance programs. That's only one.
With y'all. Then I'm going to try to
welfare?
make this
Stamps
make
not
sense.
welfare?
You got the girl.
I get that.
Ilhan Omar, whatever her name is. She's here sending out a message to other Somalians, speaking in her native language.
Yeah, like, I'm going to be real. Like, I don't want to have people come here to this.
Is Asmongold is talking about people not turning anything, and he got famous for being carried in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Fucking country to start speaking some fucking foreign language and trying to run for political office and having these, like, weird foreign ethnic groups that are trying to get political power in America that don't even.
Also, as long as we're going to get into the talking about different ethnic and racial groups that receive the most SNAP benefits, it's worth pointing out that the biggest group that receives SNAP benefits in the United States are white people. What white people get the majority share of SNAP benefits. In fact, if you look at the different racial and ethnic groups that receive SNAP benefits and the percentage that they receive out of the total SNAP benefit pot, Somali people don't even make the list. They're at less than 1%.
Fucking speak English. Like, this is way over the line.
Yeah, also, people in America don't have to speak English. Like, I'm sorry, this is the land of the free. They don't owe you a language.
Line. Like, ridiculously over the line. And steal money. Yeah, and steal fucking money.
And she keeps saying, our country, referring to Somalia, but she's in the United States.
Exactly.
And she's in the office.
100%.
She works for the government.
That's right.
She is a politician.
For them.
What kind of shit is this?
Exactly, bro. What kind of shit is this? Exactly.
You would never see an American go to another country
Imagine doing this. Imagine going to fucking Japan, China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, fucking Morocco, like some of these countries, and then saying, oh, we're going to do what's best for us. And you're talking about Americans. What?
Yeah, imagine if America just went into different countries and demanded their natural resources and wealth, and then took it by force. Imagine if America did that. Never ever look up the definition of a banana republic.
Like, what kind of disrespect is this? It's outrageous. Absolutely out. Yeah, it's crazy. It's serious when you call it English and not American. Yeah, it is.
Get in office, refer to
I hate
our
this
country.
shit.
Speaking about America in that country.
Okay, I'm realizing that potentially people who might click on this video might not know exactly what I'm talking about, so I have to be more specific. So for those of you who don't know, America has spent the last, all of its existence basically doing what Asmongold said would be ridiculous for Americans to do, which is to go into places that are not America and take the natural resources and wealth of that place for themselves. That was literally when we learn about westward expansion in the United States, when we learn about the pioneers, when we learn about Manifest Destiny. That's literally what was happening throughout that entire process in the march towards the West Coast. And also, it's what happened when, America invaded the Philippines and Cuba and most of Latin America at one point or another. And is also what happened when the United States, invaded Vietnam and the Middle East and extended its power across Africa by toppling different leaders that were not friendly enough to the U.S. government until we got leaders that were friendly to the U.S. government and were willing to give us more of their resources or sign deals that benefited our companies. And there are literally numerous examples of the United States, people, not just the United States, but just people from the United States just deciding, hey, we're going to get a bunch of guys with guns and we're going to go destabilize a government. Teehee. That's literally the origin of the term banana republic, which is why it always baffles me that there's still a company that calls itself Banana Republic. It's not a good thing that we did. It's actually a terrible thing that we did. Like, we went, like, just a couple of guys from the banana corporations got a bunch of armed guys together and overthrew a government so they could fix banana prices. And that's not an exaggeration, like, at all. That's also how Hawaii became a part of the United States. Like, a bunch of wealthy independent businessmen went to Hawaii and overthrew the government. Like, this is literally something that Americans have done for the entirety of the existence of America, and it's bad. It is, in fact, a bad thing to do this. But no, it'd be crazy if America did this.
I hope I made sense. Are y'all cooked?
It makes sense.
Not to mention, Tim Walz is running Minnesota as governor. Mm-hmm. Like, what happened to our country, bro?
He retard.
Like, this shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I'm seeing Democrats who don't even like Trump. And
Tim Walz, lifelong teacher, award-winning teacher. He's just a big old dummy, big old mentally disabled dummy. It's crazy that he runs a state now. Nope, he got all those awards as a teacher and football coach by being just a big old mentally disabled individual, according to Asmongold and Donald Trump. Like, this, they don't think about things for even like a quarter of a second. Not even a fraction of a second. It's just, person I don't like, dumb. That's it. That's it.
They're like, this is too much. I actually agree with them on this. I don't like
it. This is one of those like 90-10 issues. Like, anybody can see there's something wrong here. Anybody can see that.
I still think he's a dickhead, But I agree with
Trump.
him.
The thing is, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to agree with Trump on everything. Like, I think almost nobody agrees with Trump on everything. Like,
what are some of the things you disagree with Trump on? Like, you clearly agree with him on immigration. You've been sucking his dick the entire time.
Especially for me, right? Like the Epstein shit. Like, you fucked this up so bad. But like,
Donald Trump fucked up the Epstein shit. Yeah, no, guys, it's not that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files and has something very, very real to lose by those files coming out. No, it's he just played it all wrong. He just, his political maneuver was just I just don't agree with it. He really messed up. But he was trying to play like 7-dimensional chess, and he just messed up. Fucking moron.
Like, you should stop thinking about things that way. Like, stop thinking about like you have to go all or nothing on everybody. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way anything works. That's the way Twitter works.
I love, by the way, that when it comes to Donald Trump, it's like, whoa. You don't have to agree with everything he says, okay? Like, not everything he says is going to be perfect. The world is a little bit more complicated, and people are more nuanced than that. But yeah, also all immigrants are evil and bad, and we need to get rid of them. I watched this video of a brown person saying something in a different language, and clearly we must remove all of them from our society. Like, God, it really is disgusting, and I do laugh, but like, it's horrible. It's just horrible. I have this is why I don't cover Asmongold too often, because it's just too infuriating for me.
And maybe if you only live on there, that's why you think that way. But everywhere else in the world, that's not the way it is. Follow the
idea. Yeah. Maybe if you only live on Twitter, says man who only gets his information off of Twitter. Yeah, you think in all that black and white. I'm truly enlightened. I get. Come on, man.
Idea, yeah, follow the idea. MAGA's on Twitter? Who gives a fuck? There's so many retards on Twitter. You should never be basing what you're doing off of them.
And yet, all of his sources come from Twitter.
On this. And then let's play a game of switch the roles. Put any other president in Trump's place right now.
Yeah.
Taking a stand on all of this madness that's happening.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, okay. FDR. FDR is in Donald Trump's place. Now, you know what? Let's put Joe Biden in Donald Trump's place, just for the lulz.
Y'all would not have an issue with it. Y'all only mad because it's Trump.
Yeah, true.
Y'all.
Wait, no, we'd be really mad if Joe Biden suddenly, out of nowhere, started attacking the Somali community for no reason other than to be racist. Yeah, that would still be bad. I'd still be mad at Joe Biden about that.
Soft as hell.
It's the same with the Epstein files. Oh yeah, let's release the Epstein files, bro. Like, you had 4 years to do that. Biden was in office.
I don't like his delivery.
Yeah, and Donald Trump could have released the Epstein files without any legislation being passed, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
And a lot of y'all wish y'all had the balls to, stand on business like that. You wish you can put your opinion out there like that, but you're too scared to. So Trump rubs you the wrong way, because your bitch ass can't do it.
Yeah, because everyone's secretly racist, like, like that's the argument. The argument that, like, oh, well, Donald Trump just says the things you're too scared to say is just an attempt to say everyone's racist. Donald Trump just says it. And it's like, no, not everyone is racist, actually. That is the ultimate cope. The ultimate cope of the racist is to say, well, everyone secretly agrees with me. It's just cope. It's just cope because it's the only way they can justify holding the views they do without feeling like the antisocial freaks that they actually are.
Ooh, that's a fact. There's one whistle. Is there another one here? It's deeper than Minnesota. I'll watch one more.
Come see Columbus, Ohio, fraud investigators. If you go to the government-assisted housing areas, you will find that most of the housing is Somalians.
Nope.
I would say about 80% of the government-assisted...
Why are we putting our tax money to house foreigners in our country?
Because they assisted us, and then we accept refugees from, like, a civil war. So as, so that they don't get slaughtered for no reason in a way that we could, like, stop. Like, Asmongold is just spouting the same arguments that were made during the 1930s when, like, Jews trying to flee World War II and the Nazi occupation tried to come to America only to be turned away. Why are we putting our tax money to house foreigners? It's disgusting what he does here. Also, just out of curiosity, no, it's not. I live in Ohio. Well, she's trying to say Columbus, Ohio is all of the Somali folks are using up their social services. And it's well, there's 50,000 Somalians that live in Columbus, Ohio, right? That part is true. And also, much like the war diaspora that live here in Minneapolis, turns out a lot of them are very poor. And so they disproportionately use social services. Because again, the entire point of offering the social services is so that people can get back up on their feet and contribute, in capitalism, become workers and self-sustain themselves, that's the entire purpose of the welfare system as it exists right now. And her being him being why do we put our tax dollars towards them? Because by doing so, we can then all live together better. By giving them social services, it allows them to become financially independent and allows them to then go on and circulate money in the local economy. Having more workers is good under capitalism. Workers are a resource. It literally benefits the United States to have more workers. But Asmongold is too dumb to even think, to even analyze this under capitalistic constraints. And I'm not a fan of capitalism. I think there are compelling moral reasons to help folks that are struggling. But even if you're not moved by those, there are also reasons capital and capitalists would be motivated to support folks coming in as war diaspora.
When we have people that are homeless that are Americans, what the fuck is going on? Alien, you gonna make fun of the way she looks? The fact is that she should be in that house before they are.
Why are you assuming that she needs to be in that house? Oh, it's because he's racist. Oh, it's because he's racist.
Because she's a fucking American.
Just real quick, I'm gonna reiterate this. 87% of foreign-born Somalis are naturalized U.S. citizens. And as a whole, the majority of Somalians in Minneapolis, 87% are naturalized citizens. As a whole, in the United States, 58% are U.S. born. So they are U.S. citizens. Asmongold is just a racist.
Because she's a fucking American. That's the way it works.
Housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians, and the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars.
No way!
And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards.
What?
And they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijabs. Yeah. And then go to the businesses that are owned by the...
Oh my God. They have headphones? Guys, they're poor, but they have headphones. Since when did we allow the poors to have headphones? Well, clearly, if someone possesses headphones, they must not be poor. This is the same regurgitated bullshit that people said, 40 years ago. Oh, you have a washing machine? You must be wealthy. Oh, you have a refrigerator? Well, you can't complain about being poor. You're rich. Crazy.
Men.
What about them?
Because see, what happens is when you have a restaurant or when you have a little corner store and you have a couple of wives and you only have to claim one, then that means the other wives get EBT cards. And
that's convenient.
Those EBT cards.
How about that?
To buy food for your store.
Oh.
Wow. There are a whole lot of claims that are being completely unsubstantiated here. That's wild. That's crazy.
Every Somali American is more American than Asmongold. America is a land of immigrants yearning to be free, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
True.
Asmongold doesn't even have a job chat.
Wow.
Or what you can do is you can get a home health aid company. And then you only hire Somalians to work the home health aid. And what you do is you just make sure their paperwork looks right. It don't have to be right.
Oh, what are you talking about? Are we sure this video isn't AI? I am not sure because there's no citation, there's no on screen about where this is from. This is just a video from, oh god, which account is it here? Eric Daugherty? We just, who's just unironically posting, like Matt Walsh being racist about the IQ of Somalians. Chief Content Officer of Florida Voice News. It's a real shit show.
On whistle, is there another one here? It's deeper than minutes.
I have no idea if this is an AI video or not, to be clear. Whatever.
So I'll watch one more.
Come see Columbus, Ohio, fraud investigators. If you go...
Also, just as an FYI, Columbus, Ohio, and Ohio in general have investigators for fraud on the state level who look into stuff like this. There are 0 citations for anything this lady just said. But I'm sure every poor person in the state has a brand new car because they're all polygamists and living in one gigantic polyamory situation. Yeah, this is just some racist bullshit.
To the government-assisted housing areas, you will find that most of the housing is Somalians.
Nope.
I would say about...
Sorry.
It's crazy, man. Close it. Yeah, it's just unbelievable where this shit is happening, man. It is. And, they calling it like Nazi Germany?
Growth in this state.
Remember how he railed against people who get all their news from Twitter, and yet he's just scrolling down through his For You feed, and all of it is just racist bullshit about the Somali community?
They have contributed a lot to the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis. And yes, folks have done, horrible things, and people have committed crimes, but we should not be pointing the entire community in one brush and being...
Then stop calling criticism of it racism against the entire community, and then...
You're stop calling criticism of the entire community racist against the entire community, he says in response to a guy saying, let's not paint the entire community with a broad brush about, like, the crimes committed by a handful of us. Like, that's... Asmongold genuinely can't even follow a conversation. It's insane. He just listened to this guy.
Look at the criticism of people inside of your community as individual isolated incidents rather than trying to defend them by categorically assigning racism, calling them Nazi.
You are the one leveraging the idea that we should deport all of the Somali community, man. You're the one who just cackled like a lunatic when the President of the United States said deport them. The President of the United States is saying that all Somali people are garbage. It's literally in the Chiron on the screen right now. And he's like, how dare you call individual politicians who express Nazi beliefs Nazis?
Or something like that. The only people, like at the beginning, people said, oh, well, there are these bad actors here. Let's get rid of the bad actors. Then people that are in the community go and they say, no.
What are you talking about? Let's get rid of the bad actors. Nobody did that. Donald Trump and his racist rhetoric was, oh, we're only going to deport the criminals. We're only going to deport the bad actors. That was always a lie. And the fact that it's a lie has been borne out time and time again. Let's see. We have a handy chart here from November 25th. The Cato Institute put together this handy chart. Only 5% of individuals booked into ICE detention had a violent criminal conviction this fiscal year. 73% had nothing at all.
No, this is racism. Originally, it wasn't a race issue. They made it a race issue
No. I'm pretty sure the guy who said Mexicans coming into this country are rapists and murderers made it a race issue, but okay.
To hide accountability.
Single out fellow Americans. There's a justice, there's a process of due process, and I believe those folks have been dealt with by the state leaders. And but
obviously not.
Now, President Donald Trump singling out and attacking one group of people, and ICE being on our streets and asking people documentation. It feels like we are in 1930s, 1940s in Germany.
Then go back. Go back.
Oh my God. Like, I'm sorry. This guy's like, I feel like we're in 1930s Germany with the Gestapo, taking us off the streets. And like, Asmongold's response to the analogy of the Gestapo targeting like undesirables during World War II, is, well, just go home, Fivehead. Just fucking move. Just leave the country. You haven't done anything wrong, and this is happening for purely racist reasons.
Was born 30 years earlier, he would have railed against the Scandinavian people for coming to Minnesota. He would have fought Min Vikings.
I mean, genuinely, like, I just wonder, like, when did his ancestors come to the Americas? You know, like, dude is so against immigrants. Bitch, we know your ancestors didn't come from the Americas. We know at some point your people immigrated here. Like, dude unironically hears the comparison to 1930s Germany and thinks, yes, you should leave then. Instead of, he sees the comparison and says, you should get out of here then, because we don't want you here. And he doesn't even realize in this analogy that he himself is deciding to engage with, he is aligning himself with the Nazis. He's too stupid to understand his own positioning. Isn't there the idea that Nazi Germany tried finding a way to deport all the Jews, like to modern day Israel, I think? No? Well, James Hawk, not to modern day Israel, though I believe that was partly a plan that got floated at some point. But there were efforts to deport Jewish folks to other countries. It's why they called the genocide the final solution, because they had tried other solutions that also involved, still a lot of killing and enslavement, of course. But this isn't to say, like, the Nazis were good-hearted people who did everything they could to avoid the genocide. Just not the case. And also worth noting that when Jewish people did try to flee, they were kept within armed prisons in the ghettos and also weren't allowed to leave. So the genocide was pretty, let's not go overboard on like the strength of the attempts to just deport them.
This is crazy. You're going to say it's like a Nazis? It's like the Nazis because we don't want illegal aliens in our country? This is outrageous.
Yes, also necessary reminder that the Nazis targeted more than just Jewish people during the Holocaust. True.
I'm glad that finally, like, this is such a just dramatically ridiculous, just like totally unfair, stupid fucking thing that it even exists. I'm so glad that it's taken this to effectively, I think, finally radicalize and wake people up to this problem. It's outrageous.
This problem of black and brown people coming into the United States? Why do you think that's a problem? Do you think it's because they're inherently problematic? Is it because you're a race realist? Man, the thing about this bitch that I hate the most is that he doesn't bother to engage with his ideas enough to like actually like think any of them through. And so people constantly give him more and more slack. they're like, oh, well, he's just an idiot. He's just a moron. And like, he relies on that as a way to defend himself. Like, oh, I was just spitballing. I didn't know what I was talking about. You know, oh man, of course I was wrong. I'm just a big old dummy. But like, he hides behind that like a shield. And the issue is, in order for him to be like, to actually articulate what does it mean to wake people up to this problem, and like, what is the problem? Is the problem inherent to certain people who look certain ways? That would require too much self-introspection. And by the way, this is why one of the cornerstones of fascism, as articulated by Umberto Eco, is a lack of introspection. It is deliberately moving people away from the act of introspecting. Because if you start questioning ideas within yourself, that leads to more curiosity about the world around you, and that can completely undo the hold that fascism has over you and your soul, right? And so it's not surprising to me that a fascist foot soldier like Asmongold would be completely against any amount of introspection.
It's been going on for a long time. I don't see any gas chambers. This is literally Nazi Germany. Yes, holy fuck.
I never thought there would be a time where
I don't see any gas chambers. Hey, where did the Nazis get the idea for gas chambers? Just a fun question to ask. Just real quick. Has anyone ever looked into that? Oh, it was that they were developed by America to delouse immigrants coming into the United States. Oh, so anyone who came into the United States over the southern border would just have to go through delousing stations where they would get sprayed with toxic chemicals every single day. It was one of the ways that early, you know, Weasley fascist racists tried to dissuade immigrants from coming to and working here in America.
I will tell my community to carry their passport around because you look like Somali. You might be stopped by.
Also, we might not have gas chambers here, but we certainly have concentration camps. It's what all of these ICE detention facilities have become. And fun fact for you guys, in the long history of concentration camps built, closer towards the equator in warmer climates, mosquitoes have been a huge component of weaponizing nature against inmates as a form of torture, or rather indirect torture, which is how you get stories from Alligator Alcatraz of people being stripped down naked and sent out into the mosquitoes. There are numerous stories about this happening, and from both prisoners and guards at Alligator Alcatraz. So, yeah, disgusting.
Nice.
For sure, guys. It's just like Nazi Germany. The audacity of these people to...
Yeah, no, armed and masked agents of the state walking around and grabbing people at random because they look like targets for the Gestapo. Yeah, no, that is exactly like Nazi Germany, actually. Like, it's crazy to me how these people talk about how they want small government, but then when, like, jackbooted thugs are literally walking through their streets and arresting and detaining random people who simply look like they might not belong in this country, i.e. on racial lines, these people are just like, well, I know I said I wanted small government, but this big government is pretty sick, though. I love these policies. And they love it because, they're racists.
Outrageous. I'm from EU saying this. Yeah, y'all got your own problems. You got people doing that too. As a German, it's insane to compare this to Nazi Germany. Back then, they would have killed them, no questions asked. They take the horror.
Yeah, no, 100%. The Nazis, definitely not famous for sending people to concentration camps.
away from the word. They did. And this is the reason why, is that the reason why they do it is simple. It's because they want to emotionally manipulate you and take advantage of you to make you agree with them by co-opting your own values, your own morality, and your own viewpoints against you to then weaponize them in order to take advantages for themselves. That's what they're doing.
You know, just as an FYI, just throwing this out there. This is from 2017, back during Trump won. This is a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor talking to the then ICE director.
Sir, go ahead, please. Step up first.
Sheriff Jones?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the forum.
Here, I'll try and make it a mono track real quick, so you guys don't have to struggle fest through the sound. Mono audio. There we go.
That you have here tonight. When I was a little boy in Poland, for no other reason but for being Jewish, I was hauled off by the Nazis. And for no other reason, I was picked up and separated from my family, who was exterminated in Auschwitz. And I am a survivor of Auschwitz and Dachau. I spent 5.5 years in concentration camp.
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't hear that.
I spent 5.5 years in concentration camp for one reason and one reason only. Because we picked on people. And you as the sheriff, who we elected as sheriff of this county, we did not elect you as sheriff of Washington, D.C. It's about time you serve the people here. And when this gentleman stands up there and he says he doesn't go after any people, he should read today's B. Because in today's B, the Supreme Court Justice of State of California objected to ICE coming in and taking people away from the courts. Don't tell me that this is a lie. You stand up here, Mr. Jones, don't forget. History is not on your side.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Back that up. Who's that thumb-faced man standing right there? Oh, wait, wouldn't you know it? It's then acting ICE director Tom Homan. Oh, weird. Huh. Isn't he in charge of ICE now? Oh, that's weird how that works out, isn't it?
If I could address your last part of your question, sir. You mentioned I didn't say we arrested people in courthouses. We don't arrest people on school grounds, in churches, and hospitals. We will arrest people in courthouses.
Lies! God, it was a lie back then, and it's even more of a lie now.
And if there's a public safety threat in a courthouse, we'll continue to arrest in a courthouse. However, we don't go to courthouses looking for victims. We don't go to courthouses looking for witnesses. As I said in the beginning, we got specific targets, specific location. So it's a target enforcement operation. So when we go to a courthouse, sir, this is the truth. When we go to a courthouse, we're looking for someone that's been convicted of a crime, has a criminal history.
Definitely not true anymore, and it wasn't true then.
And the courthouse is the last place we go. We would much rather go to a jail to get them, go to the residence.
But yeah, no. How could anyone compare what's going on now to Nazi Germany? That silly Holocaust survivor there comparing what was happening back in 2017 to the Holocaust. What a silly man! The audacity of him to survive the Holocaust.
Tom Homan looks more like Mr. Potato Head than Mr. Potato Head.
He genuinely does. He's a time traveler. It's the only explanation. He went back in time and served as the inspiration for Mr. Potato Head. It's true. Look it up.
Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
Why did it happen?
I think what happened is that, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
So it's their fault that they got scammed.
Yeah, when you set up a program poorly, it lends itself to scam artists who are looking to take advantage of the system. Yeah. That's why a huge number of businesses scammed the PPP loans. They took a bunch of federal money during COVID and did not pay their employees or did not pay it back. And you know what? Oddly enough, I don't see Asmongold getting really upset about that fraud that was committed by business owners on a wide scale across this country. And the other thing that is wild to me about this whole Minnesota fraud story about the Feeding Our Future Foundation is that, one, Asmongold, I guarantee you, is like, well, the Somali community was scamming the system. I guarantee you that's what his argument is going to be. But the thing he's going to conveniently leave out is that the person who organized the entire fraud and the entire scam and actively recruited people was a white lady. A white lady in Minnesota who was the one who concocted the scam.
That's it. She's saying that's it. And so this is...
Also, Minnesota's prosecuting those fraudsters, and it got the money back.
This is the reason why people get fucking mad, is because you're going around saying that it's the fault of the people that made the system that...
Yes. If someone makes a bad system, to maybe demonstrate this, if I make a system where I say, okay, everyone is going to get an equal amount of money from this system. I have $1,000, and $1 is going to go to each of you. But also, we need to hire an independent contractor who's going to be the middleman between me and you guys. And I give all that money to the middleman without having a system in place to vet who that middleman is, and suddenly that middleman disappears with all that money. That is my fault for designing a shitty system that works that way, actually. Like, it's also his fault for stealing, but it's also our fault for designing a system that was deeply flawed and able to be taken advantage of in that way.
There was a bunch of scammers. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, you could say they need to improve the system, sure. But at the same time, it's really the fault of the fucking scammers.
And that's why the scammers got convicted of crimes and not the people who designed the system. You'll note that the people who designed the system aren't getting charged with crimes and convicted of crimes. It's the people who took advantage of it who are getting convicted of crimes. However, it would have been better if the system hadn't had those vulnerabilities, right? God, this stupid motherfucker.
This point, they're so invested in this narrative, admitting they were wrong would paint them in the worst light. Yeah, I know. Why do you keep listening to her? Is she full of shit? No reason to listen? Well, that's the thing. They don't deny that they defraud the American people. Well, of course they did, because it's undeniable. It's fucking obvious. So, yeah. Anyway, I think this is very fucking annoying. It's extremely frustrating. And hopefully now people are finally figuring it out and they're understanding it. But it has taken...
Yeah, don't get all your information off of Twitter, though, folks.
In a extremely long time for people to pick up on this, right? And what is this here? Oh, and I'm promoting the Safari restaurant. The owner who... Oh, here we go. The owner who donated to her campaign was convicted of feeding our future for $250 million fraud scheme. Wow. And you got this right here, right?
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. Mm-hmm. There are reports that the Trump administration is planning to send ICE agents here to the Twin Cities to target our neighbors of Somali descent. This is part of a recent pattern to single out our Somali community members. This is rooted in the idea that if they spew hatred, it will...
She looks like Bill Clinton.
divide us.
Okay. And?
But we won't let that happen. There are no roving gangs of Somali people in this community harassing, threatening, doing anything to any of our community will divide us. But we won't. There are no roving gangs of Somali people in this community harassing, threatening, doing anything to any of our community members. Right. And let me repeat that again, because I've heard this
Let's
often.
hear it again.
There are no roving gangs of Somalis targeting or harassing or doing anything inappropriate to any community members. Those are simply lies. It is not true.
I see that.
Our office at the Hennepin County Attorney's Office here will not assist in any way, shape, or form in any of these ICE raids.
Hey, fun fact, this footage is from 2020. This footage is from 2020 during the George Floyd protests, after things had already gotten out of hand, and also aren't from Minneapolis. This is from a completely different city in Minnesota, which, you know, Asmongold might know or care about if he thought to ask any kind of question about this. This is not a roving gang of Somali, like, you know, gangbangers. Like, you'll also note there are white people in the video who are also hanging out and participating in a lot of this. Again, because a bunch of people hit the streets during the George Floyd protests. All kinds of different people were out there.
It's from our small business owners to our healthcare workers.
I think that what we need to do
to children growing up in Cedar Riverside.
Well, also, just out of curiosity, wait. Where did he find this? Out of curiosity, what was the caption on this? Oh, let us be very clear. There are roving Somali gangs terrorizing people all across Minneapolis. But he didn't bother to check that information. So he's like, yeah, this is something that's happening right now. And it's not. This is from 5 years ago, under very specific circumstances.
There are to any community members. Those are simply lies. It is not true.
I see that.
Our office at the Hennepin County Attorney's Office here.
Wait, I can do it too. Wait, I can do it too. Whoa, look at all these roving gangs of white people. Whoa. Look at it. The streets are on fire. Wow, this is every day in Philadelphia. It's every day. It's happening all the time. This is what Philadelphia looks like every day. Look at them. They're throwing the cheesesteaks, and the cops will throw bicycles at you, and every intersection is on fire. It's right now. This is happening today, everyone. I haven't bothered to look at the timestamp, but it's on fire. Oh my god. Look at, they tear these roving white gangs. They tear down the stoplights, and then they use them to smash in windows because they're untamed monsters. Oh my god, look at them. They're lighting explosives on fire. Oh my god, look at the joy they take in the destruction they're wreaking on the streets. Oh my god. Wow, let's come to some very broad conclusions, like apparently, like Asmongold, the guy I look up to. Whoa, look at, they're shooting the explosives into the air. They are attacking the helicopters. Whoa, look at them all. Whoa, we need to deport all white people from the United States until we find out what's happening. Whoa, deport them all. Oh wait, that was Philadelphia Eagle fans rioting during Super Bowl disorder from 9 months ago. Oh wow, it's good that we looked that up first then, huh?
Will not assist in any way, shape, or form in any of these ICE raids. From our small business owners to our healthcare workers.
I think that what we need to do
to children growing up in Cedar Riverside.
What we need to do is that after we solve this problem, we need to bring these people up on charges of sedition.
That's right. Bring all the Philadelphia Eagles fans up on charges of sedition. They deserve it.
We do. We gotta put them up on charges. Like, I think it's not...
We can't allow these Philadelphia Eagles fans to integrate into society. Well, look at their inherent violence.
Enough to win.
This is my Asmongold voice.
You have to take all of the people that were against you and make sure they are never against you again.
That's right. We must make sure the Philadelphia Eagles are never against us ever again.
You gotta put them in jail. Absolutely. Like, this is
jail all Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Outrageous. Because
they're outrageous. They're destroying the public infrastructure. We're using tax dollars on the Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Here's the problem. And this is an
Does he know what sedition is? No. No, he does not.
Traction. It's a second order effect. And so people might not get it directly. Whenever you don't do your fucking job and you let...
That's right. We need to put all Philadelphia Eagles fans in prison under sedition laws. For we know that the Philadelphia Eagles fans are working to overthrow the American governance.
These people run wild. It doesn't matter whether it's Somali, they're Antifa, they're white, they're
Philadelphia Eagles fans? Of course! Finally! Asmongold is on our side!
They're black, they're Hispanic, it doesn't fucking make a difference. When you let these people run fucking...
Maybe do a disclaimer that you aren't serious about Philly Eagles fans. I'm not serious about the Phillies. I'm not serious about the Philly Eagles. All right? I'm sure they're a wonderful team. I don't know anything about sports.
Wild and cause problems, burning shit down, beating people up, stealing shit, fucking everything up. The fact is...
Sorry, wait. Can we do exactly what he did, actually? All right.
What we need to do is that after we solve this problem, we need to bring these people up on charges of sedition. We do. We gotta put them up on charges. Like, I think it's not enough to win. You have to take all of the people that were against you and make sure they are never against you again. You gotta put them in jail. Absolutely. Like, this is outrageous. Because here's the problem. And this is an abstraction. It's a second order effect. And so people might not get it directly. Whenever you don't do your fucking job and you let these people run wild, it doesn't matter whether it's Somali, they're Antifa, they're white, they're black, they're Hispanic. It doesn't fucking make a difference. When you let these people run fucking wild and cause problems, burning shit down, beating people up, stealing shit, fucking everything up, the fact is that you have a responsibility to the public and you're not doing it. And you're not doing it for a political reason. And the fact is that if you let somebody like this get hurt and you let this get worse, you, in my opinion, are an accessory to it happening.
Perfect.
You are. You're an accessory to it happening. And I think you should be treated...
Perfect timing. Editor, can we just clip that specific thing? Can we just clip that specific thing? I feel like that will do gangbusters. I feel like that's amazing. Fuck, that made it so much funnier.
Just the same as the people that did it. Because you, at the end of the day, you have the control to make this stop or to let it continue. And you can do that. You are the government. You can do anything you want. You're the fucking government. You let it happen. You are effectively allowing these people to be fucking terrible.
I know that what he's on about right now is just a horribly racist anti-immigrant rant. But I do think that bit was really funny.
Terrorized. For no reason. And it's even worse than this, because I bet there's plenty of people from Somalia that are fucking fine.
I really hope that I demonstrated how full of shit his point is with that clip. That was my intention.
Like, there's nothing wrong with them, but this entire racial identity that they've created by displacing the actual accountability, the problem isn't the fact that they're Somalian. The problem is the fact that they're committing crimes and they're defrauding the government.
Yeah, that is a problem. That's why they've been charged and convicted of crimes. That's how criminals work. That's how criminal justice works, man. People commit crimes, and then they get charged with crimes. The crimes are proven in court, or disproven in court in some cases, and then there's a conviction. That's... Man, you need like a constant team of Google debunkers on you.
Google debunkers.
Like... They're literally being convicted and sent to prison for like 10 years, man. There's an entire page dedicated on Wikipedia. You just Google debunk it.
Debunkers.
You can see pled guilty, 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 convicted at trial, 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 pled guilty, 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 convicted at trial, pled guilty, 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 pled guilty. And you want to know what? A bunch of them haven't been sentenced yet, but they're gonna be. Like, it's not like they just got away with the crime. They're gonna have to give the money back. Come on.
That's the problem. That's the big issue. And every single time that gets criticized and you want to like, oh, well, you're racist.
You can criticize the event. That's fine. You're not criticizing that event. You're saying deport all Somalis. There's a difference there. That's not criticism.
For talking about this. The only reason why they're saying
that's not criticism. That's an ethnic cleansing. There's a difference between those two things, man.
Saying that is so they can deflect from the fact that they let it happen. They let it happen. They didn't give a fuck. They were like, oh yeah, this is okay. And they let these people run wild, scam the fucking government.
What do you mean they let them run wild and scam the government? They're literally going through legal proceedings right now.
Commit crimes, do all of this bullshit, and you know who really suffers? The other Somalians who are law-abiding citizens who do come here to try to at least have a better life. Yeah, they might be on fucking welfare.
Wait, why are the other Somalis suffering in this scenario, if not because of your overly broad generalizations of their ethnic group that disparages the entire ethnic group? Like, you're the one making them suffer in this situation by punishing them for the crimes other people did.
But, like, I'd rather have somebody on welfare than somebody defrauding the government for $1 billion, sending it back to their home country to fund terrorist groups. This is outrageous, and it's radicalizing people. This fucking Karen, Bill Clinton retard is sitting here doing this.
That's the... Oh my god, this is breaking me a little bit. Just out of curiosity here, just out of curiosity here, real quick. Yeah, no, she's the one who is in charge of prosecuting all of those people that I just read they're pled guilty or convicted at trial. Her office that she is in charge of as the Hennepin County attorney was the one who convicted all of those people or got them to plead guilty to the crime. She's the one who did that, actually. So she's the one holding them accountable for their crimes.
Making it worse for everyone. Making it worse for Americans, making it worse for Somalians, and I hope and pray that one...
Man, James Hawk, if you're arguing, you hear me say the people who did the fraud got convicted in court and are being sentenced to do hard time. And you're like, oh, that's support for scam artists and terrorists. I think you need to get your ears cleaned, man. Wild.
Day, she will be making it worse for herself. I hate these fucking people. They are the worst.
Yeah, how dare she work to put fraudsters in prison? How could she? How could she put those fraudsters in prison but not agree with the racist propaganda I just spewed from a video that was 5 years old that I said was happening right now?
That's what I think. What a bunch of shit. What a bunch of bullshit. Read the sign behind her head. If you see something that's not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. Yeah, bro, like this is it's so justified. I think these
fuck, she's the one who convicted them. I understand your sentiment there, James Hawk. Thank you for taking care of that, Knifey Stack.
People just talk like this for the optics to take away her ability to be visible easy. Well, I think that really it's about whether you're letting people have crime run wild. Women should not be in positions of power. Tim Walz let this happen. He's not a woman.
No engagement with that insane bullshit. Women shouldn't be allowed in charge of things. Asmongold doesn't even engage with that.
Like, yeah, he bald as fuck. He a bald ass old man. Like, it's not about that her being a woman. It's because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She just put 78 people involved with the fraud behind bars. Okay.
Moral obligation. Yeah, of course, right? Isn't that convenient for you? No.
She's a prosecutor. Yes. What are you talking about? Dude. Is he genuinely illiterate? Like, I know he just read the sign, but he doesn't seem to have actually understood anything in the post or in the sign and been able to synthesize the information. Like, there is a level of illiteracy where, like, you can read the words, but your brain is just incapable of bringing it all together into any kind of meaningful, like, synthesis, and that seems to be where he's stuck.
This shit makes me so fucking mad. I've been seeing this for a while, and
maybe it would make you less mad if you engaged in a little bit of Google debunking once in a while.
Google debunkers.
It just seems to somehow just keep getting worse and worse and worse. So yeah, generally that's what I think, and I'm very frustrated about this, but I don't really see it getting any better until people look at it. But the problem is that a lot of people, you can never criticize this problem because they keep calling you racist. Here's the fact.
No, you can criticize the problem, but the problem isn't Somali people, which is where you're getting stuck because you think the problem is Somali people. When the problem isn't that, it is widespread poverty, widespread, I can't, man. There's a reason why I can only engage with this guy's content every once in a while, and it's because it requires so much effort to do all of the legwork he refuses to do when he makes his content.
And this is you need to take the power away from that word, the power away from this insult, because they're not calling you racist because you're doing something that's racist.
You called for all Somali people to be ethnically cleansed from the United States, bro. That's genuinely one of the most racist things you can do. You saw a video of some black people from the year 2020, and said, oh yeah, man, there are roving gangs of Somali folk in Minneapolis in 2025. This unrelated video is evidence of that. And then you said, well, there's also fraud happening, and because a handful of people committed fraud, we now need to deport, 100,000 people. Sorry, probably more than 100,000. Just out of curiosity, we now need to deport 300,000 people. Oh, sorry, the total population of the Somali community, according to Wikipedia, at least, in 2023 was 169,799. So you're saying because 78 people did fraud, and because you found one video of people who were not confirmed to be Somali doing a street fight, that we now need to deport 169,000 people, most of whom are US citizens. Okay, bro. But not racist, though.
They're calling you racist because you've identified the grift that they have. They're using this as a word to hopefully make you afraid because, oh my God, I don't want to be called this word. I guess I have to comply with them and do everything they tell me.
Anyway, buy your Asmongold branded KKK robes today. 20% off if you use coupon code ASMON20.
That's what's happening, is that they don't actually think that you're racist. They're fucking racist. You had Ilhan Omar herself telling people that the other Somalians that disagreed with her had to go back to Somalia themselves.
That's not at all what she said. We watched it all in full. You guys know that's not what she said. She was at a campaign rally for Omar Fateh, and this man didn't even know whose campaign she was there for.
They're trying to send each other back, but the moment that you say it, suddenly you're the race. Get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about?
She was talking about the political divide within the, Somali diaspora. She's talking about that there are some more conservative people in the Somali community who have a penchant for taking things out of context and spreading lies, and that you shouldn't just allow people who spread lies to just freely associate in your circles. That's it. It's not complicated. But because you are racist and want to deport all Somali folks, you're saying, oh, well, she clearly wants to deport all of her political enemies in the Somali community, which no, she doesn't, actually. This stupid piece of shit.
It's such an absolute fucking manipulation. It's unbelievable. It's unreal that this is even happening. The Karenocracy needs to die. It's a lot more. Nobody cares about that anymore. Yeah. People use these words. They call you these names. They don't mean a fucking thing. None of it matters. If somebody's calling you that.
None of words don't really matter and don't really mean anything. Which is how I make all of my content. I just, nothing really matters, so I just say things, and, that's it. You guys give me money. That's how it works.
It means you're probably right. Because that's the reason why they do it. They would...
Yeah, man. If someone says that you're bigoted, it means that you're right. What an excellent standard to use. If someone said... If you say, I hate all black people, and then someone says you're racist, well, it means you're right. That's his logic applied. Insane.
Debate you on the points and the merit of what you're discussing if they could, but they're not able to. So they have to...
Yeah, all of the merit that he was discussing that he got off of Twitter and didn't bother to fact check. Yeah, bro, this guy really cares about having an intellectual discussion with you. It's not that he has the utmost disdain for both himself and everyone who watches his show, and he can't be bothered to do the legwork to ensure that what he's saying is accurate to millions of people. Nah, bro. It's just that other people don't want to have an honest intellectual conversation with you.
Resort to name calling because they've run out of ammunition on the other perspective.
Yeah, wait a minute. What was that? What was that you said earlier? Let me just check something here real quick.
Not to mention, Tim Walz is running Minnesota as governor.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to our country, bro?
He a retard.
This shit is...
Oh, wait, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to our country, bro?
He a retard.
This shit is...
Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. My mind went backwards in time.
But they're not able to. On the points and the merit, we right. Because that's the reason why they do it. They would debate you on the points and the merit of what you're discussing if they could, but they're not able to. So they have to resort to name calling because they've run out of ammunition on the other perspective. That's...
Huh. What an interesting point to make there at the very end there, Asmongold. Yeah, I hope that by now I have thoroughly demonstrated that this man is just full of complete and utter horseshit at all times. And I think that's all. I think that about covers it. I think I did what I set out to do, and I think that this is this is acceptable. We have finished it. We have reached a point where I think I have defended my position, and you know, I'm gonna end this on Ilhan Omar giving a response to Donald Trump's attacks.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
Hell yeah. And, you know, gosh darn it, she's right. I hope that the land and the place that I live in will always be the kind of place that will welcome those fleeing from war, those fleeing persecution, those looking to live honest, decent, and respectable lives. And I, for one, welcome the people of Somalia who want to build lives here. And with that being said, please, if you got anything out of today's segment, please like, comment, and subscribe. Especially comment. The comments really, really help the videos and the algorithm. And also consider supporting the show financially. Subs, donos, memberships, super chats. You guys make this show possible. I could not do it without your financial support. And also consider checking out Imogene Olivia, Gender Euphoric Lingerie. My partner and I started this company, and it's lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. Completely different kind of design, and folks who have tried it love it. It's designed for trans femmes in mind, but anyone who wants to feel feminine can wear it. We've tried it with cis men, with cis women, with a bunch of kinds of folk in between, and everyone who has tried it loves it. So give ImogeneOlivia.com a check out. You can find a link down in the doobly-doo. And I will see you all next time.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.